Have you ever felt like no matter what you try, the scale just won't budge? You're eating healthy, working out, but the results just aren't showing. Well, today, I'm going to share weight loss tips that actually work. Real strategies you can start using right now to finally see results. Stick around, because this could completely change the way you lose weight forever. When it comes to weight loss, the very first thing that often gets overlooked is your mindset. And honestly, it might be the most important factor of all. A lot of people dive into dieting or working out without really thinking about their mental approach, and that's where frustration creeps in. You might have tried countless diets, spent hours at the gym, and yet the scale barely moves. And it can feel like you're failing, but in reality, you're just approaching it from the wrong angle. Weight loss isn't just about burning calories or restricting what you eat. It's about how you think about the process and how you handle the journey. Your mind is like the control center of your entire effort, and if you're negative, impatient, or expecting instant results, you're basically setting yourself up to quit before you even get started. The good news is, if you shift your mindset, everything else becomes easier. It starts with understanding that small, consistent changes are far more powerful than drastic, unsustainable efforts. Instead of trying to overhaul your life in a week, focus on making 1 or 2 realistic changes and build on them over time. For example, adding an extra serving of vegetables to your meals or swapping soda for water is a tiny adjustment, but if you do it consistently, it compounds into real progress. Celebrating these small wins is critical too, because every time you acknowledge that progress, no matter how minor it seems, you reinforce positive behavior and create momentum. Another part of the mindset shift is learning to see setbacks as part of the process rather than failures. There will be days when you overeat, skip a workout, or feel like you're not making progress, and that's perfectly normal. The key is how you respond. Do you beat yourself up and give up, or do you recognize it as a temporary hiccup and move forward? The people who succeed in the long term aren't perfect, they're consistent, and they understand that the journey has ups and downs. Mindset also involves focusing on progress rather than perfection. Instead of obsessing over losing a certain amount of weight in a specific time frame, pay attention to the positive changes happening in your energy levels, your strength, your stamina, and even how your clothes fit. These non-scale victories are incredibly motivating and often more sustainable than just chasing a number on the scale. Visualizing your goals and reminding yourself why you started can also keep you focused. Whether it's feeling more confident, having more energy for your kids, or improving your overall health, keeping your why at the forefront helps you stay disciplined and committed. Essentially, developing the right mindset means approaching weight loss as a long-term lifestyle change rather than a short-term challenge. It's about being patient with yourself, embracing consistency over intensity, and recognizing that every small positive choice you make contributes to the bigger picture. Your mindset sets the tone for your entire journey, and once you get this part right, the rest of the strategies, nutrition, exercise, sleep, fall into place more naturally and effectively, making your weight loss not just possible, but sustainable in the long run. When it comes to weight loss, nutrition is absolutely one of the biggest factors that can either make or break your progress. And the truth is, it's not about starving yourself or following the latest crazy diet trend. So many people fall into the trap of thinking that skipping meals, cutting out entire food groups, or surviving on shakes and fad diets is the way to lose weight fast. But the reality is, those approaches are not sustainable and usually backfire. The real secret is building eating habits that you can stick with for life, not just for a month or two. Because if your plan isn't realistic, you won't maintain it, and the weight will creep back just as quickly as it left. One of the easiest ways to start is by focusing on protein. Protein is essential because it keeps you fuller longer, helps preserve muscle while you're losing fat, and even increases the number of calories your body burns during digestion. This doesn't mean you have to eat boring chicken and eggs every day. There are plenty of delicious options, from Greek yogurt and cottage cheese to beans, lentils, tofu, or even a handful of nuts. Pairing protein with fiber-rich foods like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains is another game changer because fiber also helps with satiety, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports digestion, making it easier to avoid mindless snacking. Beyond choosing the right foods, awareness is key. Many people think they're eating healthy, but small snacks, sauces, and beverages can quietly add hundreds of calories without realizing it. Keeping a food journal or using a simple tracking app for a few weeks can open your eyes to your eating patterns and help you make small adjustments that really add up over time. Hydration is another often overlooked part of nutrition that can have a major impact. Drinking enough water keeps your metabolism running efficiently, helps prevent cravings, and sometimes even curbs the feeling of hunger when your body is actually just thirsty. Planning in meals ahead of time can also prevent impulsive choices that might sabotage your progress. Preparing snacks and meals for the week, chopping veggies, or portioning protein in advance makes it much easier to stay on track, even on busy days. And remember, food should never feel like punishment. Enjoying what you eat, allowing for occasional treats, and not beating yourself up over a slip-up are all part of creating a sustainable relationship with food. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. By focusing on sustainable nutrition habits, you're not just losing weight, you're learning how to fuel your body properly, support your energy levels, and build a lifestyle that you can maintain long-term. When nutrition becomes about balance, variety, and consistency rather than restriction and extremes, everything else in your weight loss journey becomes easier. Your workouts are more effective, your energy is higher, and your results actually stick because you're not fighting against your own body or creating a cycle of deprivation and binging. Sustainable nutrition isn't a quick fix, it's the foundation for real, lasting weight loss. And once you adopt this mindset, everything else, from exercise to sleep, fall into place naturally and more effectively, making your journey not just achievable, but enjoyable. When we talk about weight loss, exercise is one of those things everyone thinks about immediately. But the truth is, a lot of people overcomplicate it and end up getting frustrated or quitting. The key isn't doing hours of intense workouts every day or pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion. It's about finding movement that you actually enjoy and can stick with consistently. Consistency beats intensity every single time because short, regular workouts done week after week will always produce better results than occasional extreme sessions that leave you sore, tired, or burned out. Think about it this way. Your body responds to habits, not heroic efforts. That's why choosing activities that feel fun or natural to you is so important. It could be walking your dog, going for a bike ride, dancing in your living room, swimming, hiking, or even a quick bodyweight circuit at home. When you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't feel like a chore, and you're far more likely to do it again tomorrow and the day after that. High-intensity interval training, or high-intensity training, is another incredibly effective tool that I love because it allows you to burn a lot of calories in a short amount of time. And your body keeps burning energy even after the workout is done. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even simple moves like jumping jacks, squats, or short sprints can give you similar benefits if you do them consistently. The goal isn't to completely change your life overnight or spend hours in the gym. It's to make movement a regular part of your lifestyle. Another aspect that's often overlooked is incidental activity. Basically, moving more throughout your day outside of formal workouts. Things like taking the stairs, walking during phone calls, stretching at your desk, or even cleaning your house can all add up and contribute to your daily calorie burn. The more you integrate movement into your daily routine, the less it feels like exercise, and the more it becomes a natural part of life. Consistency is also tied closely to creating a routine. When you schedule your workouts just like you would a meeting or an appointment, it becomes non-negotiable and easier to stick with over time. Start small if you need to. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day is better than nothing, and then gradually increase as your fitness improves. Another tip is to track your progress, not obsessively, but enough to see improvements over time. Notice how your endurance is increasing, how much stronger you're getting, or even how your energy levels improve after movement. These small victories keep you motivated and reinforce the habit. Remember, exercise isn't just about burning calories or losing weight. It's about improving your overall health, boosting your mood, increasing energy, and creating a foundation for a body that functions well for years to come. When you make movement consistent and enjoyable, it no longer feels like punishment, and weight loss becomes a natural side effect of a healthier, more active lifestyle. The key takeaway is simple. Find what you enjoy, do it regularly, integrate movement into your daily life, and focus on creating habits that last, because the results will come naturally without forcing yourself into a routine you hate or burning out after a few weeks. One of the biggest things people overlook when it comes to weight loss is how much sleep and stress actually affect your results. And the crazy part is that these factors can completely sabotage all your hard work if you ignore them. So many people focus entirely on food and exercise, thinking that's all that matters. But your body doesn't operate in isolation. Sleep and stress are huge influencers on your hormones, your appetite, your energy, and even how your body stores fat. Let's start with sleep, because it's often the easiest thing to neglect. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your body gets stressed, your cortisol levels rise, and hormones like ghrelin and leptin, responsible for regulating hunger and fullness, get completely out of balance. That means even if you're eating healthy meals and working out consistently, your body can start craving sugary, high-calorie foods, and your metabolism can slow down, making it harder to burn fat. This is why people who are sleep-deprived often struggle with weight loss, even if they're technically in a calorie deficit. On the flip side, getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night helps your body recover, keeps your hunger hormones in check, and makes your workouts more effective because you actually have energy to push yourself. Sleep is not just rest, it's a critical part of your weight loss strategy and overall health. Now let's talk about stress, because it's closely linked to sleep and can be just as impactful. When your body is stressed, it releases cortisol, a hormone that tells your body to hold onto fat, especially around your midsection. Chronic stress can make your body think it's in a constant state of emergency, which slows down fat burning and increases cravings for comfort foods, sugar, and processed snacks. That's why some people feel like no matter how much they work out or diet, they just can't seem to lose weight when stress is high. The good news is that stress management is something you can actively work on. Simple strategies like deep breathing, meditation, stretching, journaling, going for a walk outside, or even just taking a few minutes a day to unplug and relax can lower cortisol levels and help your body get back into balance. The combination of good sleep and effective stress management creates a powerful environment for your body to burn fat efficiently, maintain energy, and regulate appetite naturally. Think of it this way. All the nutrition and workouts in the world won't work as effectively if your body is constantly in a state of stress or sleep deprivation. Prioritizing sleep and stress management is not optional. It's part of the foundation for sustainable weight loss. Once you start treating your body with the rest it needs and giving it the tools to manage stress, you'll notice that your energy improves, your cravings decrease, and your workouts feel easier and more effective. It's amazing how much of a difference something as simple as getting consistent sleep and managing your stress can make in your results. Focusing on these areas also improves your mood, mental clarity, and overall quality of life, which makes sticking to healthy habits much easier. When you combine nutrition, movement, sleep, and stress management together, everything works synergistically, and your weight loss journey becomes not just about a number on the scale, but about creating a healthier, more sustainable lifestyle. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to lose weight is treating it like a short-term challenge instead of a lifestyle, and that's why so many diets fail and results don't last. Quick fixes, extreme detoxes, or crash diets might give you a number on the scale temporarily, but they rarely stick, and often you end up gaining back everything you lost, plus more. The real key to long-term success is building habits that you can actually maintain and making changes to your daily lifestyle that support your goals naturally. This doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life overnight or be perfect every day. It means making small, intentional choices that become part of your routine. For example, simple things like swapping soda for water, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, cooking more meals at home, or going for a short walk after dinner might seem minor, but over time, these small changes add up and make a huge difference. Planning ahead is another huge component. When you know what you're going to eat, have healthy snacks ready, and schedule time for movement, you remove a lot of the guesswork and reduce the chances of making impulsive decisions that don't align with your goals. Accountability is also huge. Sharing your progress with a friend, joining a fitness community, or working with a coach can keep you motivated and consistent because it's much harder to skip habits when someone is checking in on you or cheering you on. Another part of lifestyle changes is focusing on routines rather than perfection. It's okay to have a treat now and then, to take a rest day, or to miss a workout. What matters is the pattern you build over weeks and months. Consistency compounds over time, and small choices repeated daily lead to massive results in the long run. Patience also plays a role here, because lifestyle changes don't show instant results like a crash diet might, but they do create sustainable progress that lasts. When you adopt this mindset, you stop obsessing over quick outcomes and start focusing on building a healthier relationship with your body, food, and movement. It's about thinking long-term, about creating a life where healthy choices are easy, automatic, and enjoyable, rather than a struggle or punishment. And the beauty of lifestyle-based habits is that they impact more than just weight. They improve your energy, mood, sleep, mental clarity, and overall quality of life. Once you focus on the big picture, weight loss becomes a natural side effect rather than the sole objective, and you start to enjoy the process instead of dreading it. Essentially, sustainable weight loss is less about extreme measures and more about building a foundation for a healthy life. The habits you create now, the routines you follow, and the choices you make every day compound over time, and eventually they lead to lasting results that no crash diet or temporary fix could ever provide. By prioritizing lifestyle and habits over quick fixes, you set yourself up not just for weight loss, but for long-term health and a stronger, happier, more energized version of yourself. And that's ultimately what this journey is all about.